Welcome back. One of the side issues that COVID-19 has brought attention to is how much the U.S. is relying on other countries. Fox 44's Brian Glenn sat down with a person who knows about the situation firsthand.
The words "made in the USA," that's something many Americans want to read more of. Perhaps now more than ever, we should have more things made here in the USA. To talk about that and a whole lot more, Randy Moore is joining me to talk about, well, your industry, which is the energy storage sector. But first, I'm going to ask you, do you think more Americans will push for products to be made right here and moved away from places like China and elsewhere in the world?
Yeah, I really believe that we're going to start seeing more of that. I've had several discussions with many of my counterparts over the last several weeks about both from a consumer perspective in our personal lives and from a manufacturing perspective. We're going to be looking for the words "made in the USA" on a lot more of our goods that we buy for both personal and for business.
Okay, let's talk about the particular industry that you're in. You're in the energy storage business. Now, a lot of the companies in your sector are based outside the U.S. You're one of the lucky ones we have right here in these states. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we put our battery manufacturing plant in the good old USA before it was even cool to do that. But yeah, you're right. More than half the batteries today are made in Asia, and most of those are made in China. And I do believe that we will start seeing some of that manufacturing return back to the United States.
But don't you think returning production here in the United States frees us up from being, I guess, trapped in situations like medical supplies that are made overseas? If we have everything here, we can control when we get those supplies and when we don't.
You're exactly right. And more of the discussion of late has been focused on the national security issue. You know, if we have our electronics and computers and communications equipment made in China, then there's a security issue around sensitive information. If we have our pharmaceuticals and PPE made in China, then there's the question of shortages. If in a situation like we find ourselves now, and in the future, you know, batteries and battery grade material are really being stockpiled and bought up by the Chinese, and it puts us in a poor posture for our national defense.
Randy Moore, we certainly appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.